and welcome to the program Talk Sport on Global Television. I am Samuel Odi. Many thanks for joining on today's edition of the program. As we saw lots of actions just this past weekend, and very excitingly, and it's been sealed and settled. Remo Stars have been crowned the 2024-2025 Nigerian Professional Football League champions. I was talking about the Nigerian Premier League. Remo Stars have now been crowned champions, and also we saw Real Madrid dismantling Barcelona dismantling Real Madrid yesterday 4-3 in the El Clasico clash. Also we saw exciting features where Liverpool and Arsenal, had to struggle from behind to settle for draw at Anfield. So a whole lot of actions happened just this past weekend, and we'll be having most of those conversations, and we'll be starting from the home front. We'll also talk about Abuja City League that's ongoing. We'll talk about the NBA playoffs. Now, Indiana Pacers have gone up 3-1 against the Cleveland, the first seeders in the East, and which was they just came off, Cleveland came off as if they were not going to have, any unbeaten run throughout these playoffs after the way they went on against Miami Heat and defeated them 4-0 straight. So now they are struggling from behind with Indiana Pacers leading the pack with 3-1 in the series. So it's just a whole lot. Maybe in the next game we might say, well, there might be a change. But currently, Indiana Pacers are rapidly on fire and they are not even dropping momentum. But we'll have all of those conversations on today's edition of Talk Sport. And we'll be going on a quick break. When we return back, we'll dive right into the conversation. And we'll be starting from Remo Stars. Stay with us. We'll be right back. All right, a million thanks for staying with us. Now let's get right into it. Remo Stars trashed Ikrudu boys, Ikrudu City, 4-1 to mark Npfl Coronation. Remo Stars have been crowned champions of the 2024-2025 Nigerian Premier Football League after their 4-1 victory over Ikrudu City in a March Day 37 game on Sunday in Ikenne. This happened in their home field. The Sky Blues Stars came from a goal down to trash their Southeast rivals and also descend their hope to picking a continental ticket in their debut Npfl campaign. Already confirmed as champions from 2 weeks ago, Remo Stars marched into the field for their coronation day with a guard of honor from the visitors inside an electrifying stadium filled with thousands of supporters who came to witness their historic day. Also among the spectators was the governor of Osun State, Dapo Abiodun, who joined the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Ibrahim Gusso, Npfl chairman Benga, and other league officials who packed the stadium. However, the silence in the 15 minutes when the Ikrudu City captain Tosin Oedokun sent a pillar diver which was mishandled by Shegin Obase for the visitors' shocking lead after a couple of missed chances from Olamilekon Adebayo and Sadiq Ismail. Remo Stars finally got back into the game in the 37th minute, courtesy of a simple finish from Sikiru Al-Amin for his 5th goal in the season, and that was how the trajectory continued from the 37th minute and also during the break. And after the break, when they came back, they scored more goals and their crowning was solidified, and then currently they've picked up a ticket for the continental stage. This shows how ready they are to be able to, advance further and, participate in all of these competitions. Now they are current champions, and we are yet to see a whole lot of, activities happen. Looking at that, still talking Nigerian Professional Football League, Sunshine Stars relegated after Tornadoes defeat. They've always been, throughout this season, they've not been amazing, but now it has just come out to bite them at the long run. Sunshine Stars became the second club to be relegated in the 2024-2025 Nigerian Premier League Football League, following their 2-1 home defeat against fellow strugglers Niger Tornadoes in Ijebu Ode. This happened last night on Sunday. The Akure-based side have been in Nigerian's top flight for 17 years after being promoted in 2008. Sunshine Stars went into the match day 37 game with 41 points, needing 3 points to keep their survival hopes until the last day. The visitors, who sat 2 places above them with 45 points before the kickoff, had better plans to escape relegation, and they took the lead in the first half through Ismail Sariki before Lamine Abdul Ahmed equalized for the Owen Wales before the break happened. And also moving on, Daniel Akimbade restored the Tornadoes' lead with a spectacular goal in the 76th minute, and that proved enough for their 5th away win of the season. Thanks to the win, Niger Tornadoes moved out of the relegation zone into the 14th place with 48 points, and are in need of at least a point in their last home game against Kano Pillars to survive. The defeat left Sunshine Stars on 41 points, meaning a win in their next game against El Kelebi Warriors won't be enough for them to stay in safety. So looking at all of this now, they've been relegated. But let's take a quick look at the standings of the Npfl. We'll see how far the whole standings are. And we're looking at Remo Stars sitting comfortably the #1 position with 71 points. And then Rivers United following suit with 61 points at the second position. Abia Warriors also with 60 points. And Ikrudu City with 56 points. Bendel Insurance, that's the Arsenal of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with 56 points. Eyimba of Aba with 55 points, Kano Pillars with 53 points, and then Enugu Rangers, who were the former champions, with 52 points. So looking at the trajectory also, points are changing, and it's just showing how amazing it is. Shooting Stars now in the 11th position with 51 points. Kwara United with 50 points. Bayelsa United 49. Niger Tornadoes with 48 points. Katsina United with 47 points. El Kelemi Warriors of Maiduguri with 46 points in 16th place. And then Heartland of Owerri, Akwa United, Sunshine Stars. All of these guys 45 points, 44 points, and 41 points. And this team automatically has been relegated and been dropped back into the NLL zone. And on this note, we'll see other teams too who would, advance currently from the NNL into the Npfl. We'll see how all of those, will be panning out in the next couple of weeks, because reports and results will be coming out on a daily basis, as you can see. And then just next weekend, the next 2 weekends now, the season is going to be, wrapped up, and then the standings are all going to be showing. So currently, Ikrudu, Remo Stars have been crowned champions. They are cleared with 71 points, edging and gapping Rivers United with 10 points. So automatically, there is no how, they can be able to cover up those matches. So looking at the standings now, in the last 5 games of Remo Stars, they've played 5 games, obviously won 3, had drawn 1, and then lost 1. Rivers United had played 5 also, won 2, and lost 3. So all of this, and the trajectory continues. Abia Warriors won 3 of their matches, lost 1, and then drew 1. So looking at the standings as it's currently, it's just going to take a few defections, just changes, little bit of changes is what we're expected to see as it's standard in the next couple of weeks, because currently the games are already come to an end. So champions have been crowned, and then Remo Stars have booked a ticket for themselves in the continental stage, and then we'll see how all of those would continue. So moving away from Nigerian Professional Football League, then let's talk quickly about the under-20 AFCON currently going on in Egypt. Flying Eagles are set to battle Senegal for the semi-final spot, which will be happening later today. Nigeria and Senegal are set to renew their rivalry in the quarterfinals of the Under-20 and African Cup of All Nations at the Canal Stadium in Ismaila on Monday later today, and this will be happening in this will be the fourth encounter between the two sides as this tournament will be Nigeria having won 2 of the previous encounters, while Senegal had one victory. Their history at the competition has been filled with high stakes, with the winners of each previous matches between them going on to lift the trophy. In 2015, Nigeria defeated Senegal 3-1 in group stages before earning a 1-0 win in the final, with Bernard Bauer's 17-minute goal claiming Nigeria's 7th title. In contrast, Senegal triumphed over Nigeria 1-0 in the opening match in 2023, with Souleymanu Faye scoring in the only goal for the game as the Senegalese ultimately won the tournament that year. The encounter held way for both teams as they had endured mixed fortunes in the recent times. Nigeria, runners-up in Group B, are aiming to maintain their strong record of having never lost a quarterfinal match in the Under-20 African Cup of All Nations. Winning all 7 matches they have played under the current format. Their most recent quarterfinal victory came in 2023 with a 1-goal victory over Uganda. This gave them a proud moment history of reaching the semi-final 16 times and never failing to advance past the quarter-final since 2001, with the expectations of also 1993. So we have seen how great these guys are, the Under-20 Flying Eagles, and how amazing they've been over this past couple of games. Like we always say here, preparation is very, very key. For over 6 weeks, this team have been playing and preparing together, and this results we are seeing from this set of guys is no news. That, okay, they have been doing well. They haven't lost any of their games since this tournament began, and it's very, very crucial that they advance. The rivalry between the Super Flying Eagles and the Senegalese has been there for a very long time, but looking at the statistics currently, the Flying Eagles have more hands and have more edges ahead of the Senegalese. Playing 3, they've won 2 out of that 3 matches, and then later today, around 4 p.m. Nigerian time, they would be facing Senegal as they, embark on that journey. So looking at all of this now is very, very crucial for them to book this spot, so as they'll advance to also, winning the championship. So looking at all of this trajectory and how the form of this play has been, no injury worries, no fatigue worries, I think we are optimistic. The coach and the team are, focused and, ready to advance and play on well to get also to the semi-final stage and also advance to the final stages. So we are rooting for them, and if you're in Egypt, just go and support the Flying Eagles as they try to, edge over the next stumbling block that they have, which is in front of them currently, and that stumbling block is the Senegalese guys. So let's see how all of this will pan out in later today. The game time is starting at 4 p.m. Nigerian time, and I'll be cheering for the Flying Eagles. So moving away from that, Dembele, voted player of the year in France. Yes, Paris Saint-Germain forward Ousmane Dembele was named the League One Player of the Year on Sunday after leading the club to its 13th French title and also Champions League final, which will be played on the 21st of March. Dembele is Dembele is the top scorer in the League One this season with 21 goals and has struck 33 times in 46 matches across all competition, including 8 goals in Europe. He succeeded Kylian Mbappe, who won the prize 5 times in a row before departing for Real Madrid at the end of the season. Luis Enrique earned Coach of the Year honors at the UFEP and French Players Union Trophies Gala, while Darcy took home the prize for the best young player in League One. Lead Lucas Chiviard denied PSG a clean sweep of the accolades as he beat Kylian Mbappe to the best goalkeeper award. PSG are on course for a treble after seeing to an 11th League One title in 13 years. They will play their Inter Milan in Champions League final on May the 31st, and a week after facing Rem in the French Cup showpiece, which they are very, very confident that they would be able to, win. So looking at this now and all of this happening, this trajectory so far, Ousmane Dembele this season has been one of a very good season for him without lots of injury worries, and we've seen how well he has been very crucial for his side PSG. In the next couple of weeks now, 31st of May this month, obviously, the Champions League final will be played, and then we would know who the champions of Europe will be. Would it be PSG or Inter Milan? That's a match that I can't wait to watch. A whole lot of fans, controversies, eyebrows are being raised already based on who they feel will be able to be winning this year's UEFA Champions League. But is it going to be Inter Milan or PSG? Fingers are very crossed, and 31st of May, it's around the corner. We would find out soon. And congratulations to the entire squad of PSG for the awards they won, and kudos to Ousmane Dembele for being named French Player of the Year. Moving on, let's talk EPL, where 10 men Arsenal come from behind to draw at Liverpool. Arsenal fought back from 2 goals down to rescue a valuable 2-2 draw against Liverpool as the Gunners move a step closer to qualifying for Champions League. This happened last night. Mikel Arteta's side tailed to first half goal from Cody Gakpo and Lewis Darcy at the Anfield, but Gabriel Martinelli reduced the deficit before Mikel Mario grabbed the visitors' equalizer. Although Mario was sent off for a second booking with 11 minutes left, Arsenal plunged for a vital point in the battle for a top 5 finish in the Premier League. Second place Arsenal sit 5 points clear of the 6th place Aston Villa. They face a crucial clash with 3rd place Newcastle at the Emirates Stadium later this week before traveling to relegated side Southampton on the last day of the season. With a very superior goal difference to all their top 5 rivals, Arsenal should need just 1 more point to secure a Champions League berth, despite winning only 1 of their last 6 games. So Arsenal currently, what they are focused more on now is just making it through to the Champions League, because to the Champions League next season, their hope for advancing and getting to the Champions League final was crushed by PSG, and now they are just going to struggle and fight to just see how they make their way all through, just like that's what every other team is doing now. But that's not looking as if that's the same thing Manchester is, doing. There's a high chance that Manchester United would advance straight into the Champions League by just winning the Europa. If they get to do that and win the Europas, then they will still remain in the 14th position and, advance into the Europa. We'll be seeing how all of that will be panning out. And also, still talking EPL, Newcastle beats 10 man. Also, Chelsea close in on Champions League. Very, very close. Goals from Sandro Tonali and Bruno Gomez in their either half were enough to secure 3 points for Newcastle, moving the Mega Pigs within touch distance of Champions League football next season with a crucial victory against 10-man Chelsea at St. James Park. The victory puts Newcastle 3 points clear of Chelsea and 1 point behind Arsenal. The Mega Pigs at Chelsea started the day locked on the same 63 points tally before Newcastle got the perfect start when Sandro Tonali close-range finish gave them the lead after just 112 seconds. The visitors' task was made even harder when striker Nicholas Jackson was rightly sent off for a needless 4M smash on Newcastle defender Seven Botman. Later on, 10 minutes before the break, manager Enzo Maresca adjusted by using Cole Palmer as false nine, inspiring a Chelsea revival after the break, with keepers Nick Pope twice saving well from Mark Cucurella and also Enzo Fernandez. Reece James missed another big opportunity for Chelsea, but Newcastle survived to wrap up a priceless 3 points in the stoppage time when Bruno Gomars's strikes took a deflection off Malo Gusto and looped over keeper Robert Sanchez, which then led to celebration. The celebration, when the final whistle sounded, illustrated the importance of the win as Newcastle and manager Eddie Howe stand on the brink of closing out a magnificent campaign this season. So the goal for them is to advance to Champions League, and they are edging very, very close to achieving that. Since all of this is happening, still talking football, let's move away from the EPL and see where Messi scores as Inter Miami suffers 4-1 defeat to Minnesota United. Lionel Messi suffered the heaviest defeat of his MLS career as Inter Miami crashed to a 4-1 lose against Minnesota United. The Argentines scored in the second half, but Miami's defense was once again exposed as they fell to a fourth defeat in their last 5 games in all competition, a run that has seen them conceded 14 goals with Luis Suarez injured. Inter Miami coach Javier Mascherano opted to play without a recognized target striker, with Messi flaunting in front of 5-man midfield. And also Kula Hangwen fired Minnesota ahead of the 32nd minute after Miami's defense was exposed by a clever pass from Joaquin Pare to Carlos Harvey, who picked out the South African international striker in the box. Messi provided the first real reminder of his presence in 6 minutes later when he walked some pace in the crowd area, but this lower right foot shot was harmless. Minnesota doubled their lead on the stroke of the half when a long throw from Michael Braxwell was headed on by Nicolas Romario and Anthony Monach noted home at the back post. Messi struck 3 times after the interval when he found in the box by Jory Alaba and provided a critical kill, first touch and deadly finish to reduce the deficit. The deficit was reduced, but it wasn't enough for Inter Miami to, have the best and the last laugh at the end of the day. So looking at this now, this is the heaviest defeat that Messi has ever suffered. Now, people are asking his age catching up with him or the team spirit that or the teammate he's playing with. We know he's a very good friend and former teammate and now still teammate. Sanchez has been very, very crucial also for Inter Miami. But now, currently, it's not looking as such based on the fact that he is having injury worries. So we'll just see how all of these incidents is going to help out and then settle in the next couple of games that will be played, because the season is beginning to wrap up. We'll be going on a very quick break, and when we return back, we'll be having conversations around basketball, and I have a grassroots coach who would be joining us as we tend to x-ray major talking points around Abuja City League. And also the Tigers are getting ready to face off Tunisia, Cameroon and Madagascar in the 2025 Afro Basketball Championship. We'll be having all of those conversations and more immediately after this break. Stay with us.
know that global television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch global television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to global television.
Yes, many thanks for staying with us. If you're just joining, this is still Talk Sport on Global Television, and we are about to have conversations around basketball, Afro Basketball Championship. You know, BAL competition just started, and the first half ended. So in the month of June and July, we will be looking at the playoffs. Also around that time, Abuja City League playoffs also will be ongoing. So, after football, there'll see a whole lot of action that will be happening. On the other hand, the Tigers are also getting ready to face Tunisia, Cameroon, and Madagascar in the 2025 Afro Basketball Championship. On this, still the other hand, the NBA playoff is still ongoing, where Indiana Pacers are doing their best and actually defeated, to the greater surprise of a lot of individuals, defeating Cleveland 3-1, 3-1 in a Game 7 series. So this shows how hungry these younger lads are to win the NBA trophy. On the other hand, still we are seeing OKC and Denver Nuggets going head-to-head as they have now leveled the series at 2-2 apiece. So this is very crucial. We are seeing also Boston Celtics and the Golden State Warriors, other Minnesota Timberwolves, New York Knicks, those other guys who are doing excellently well, and then the rivalry and the competition is just getting intense on a daily basis, and these players are not even looking as if they are getting fatigued, but now it's definitely telling on them. We'll be having all of those conversations, and I have a very good friend and a coach, grassroots coach, someone that loves basketball and love young talent so much, in the person of Coach Lawal, that is the head coach of Gilali Basketball. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, sir.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us again on Talk Sports.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll be having conversations around Abuja City League and also Afro Basketball Championship that will be coming up shortly. But let me bring our viewers up to speed with the current report and how ready the Tigers are. The Tigers have been painted against holders Tunisia, Cameroon, and Madagascar in the Group B of the 2025 FIBA Afro Basketball Tournament, set to hold from August the 12th to the 24th in Angola. The draw for the championship was held in the Angolan capital of Luanda on Friday, where the draw for all of these teams were made according to the seeding system based on the FIBA World Ranking, and the ceremony was attended by several African basketball legends. The 2015 champions will be flying for only their second continental title in Angola. Tunisia, who are reigning champions, reigning champions have won the competition, talking about Tunisia now, on 3 occasions, and they defeated Nigeria in the 2017 final. Cameroon have never won the Afro Basketball Championship, although they did finish runners-up in the 2007 edition held in Angola. They boast a decent lineup featuring NBA star Pascal, and but it is yet unclear if the 2019 NBA champion will be available to participate in this championship, because currently he's with Indiana Pacers. Talking about Pascal Siakam, he's with Indiana Pacers, and there is no possibility, because the NBA playoffs is just ongoing and the same thing will be happening. So fatigue might also set in. I'm certain he might maybe come for team spirit, but come into play. I'm not certain he will be able to be playing, because I'm certain and I'm sure his body is telling on him because of how intense and how physical the NBA playoffs currently is ongoing. So looking at the Afro Basketball Championship that we've been witnessing, the Tigers now, Coach Lawal, what do you think they should focus more on? Because we have a few months around the corner for them to prepare. Preparation is very key, as you always say. I know you always say that. And also, the Commissioner of Sports, Shehu Diko, also said preparation is important. If you don't get to prepare, nobody should even come to him to have conversation about championship or traveling. So how well do you think the Tigers are going into the 2025 Afro Championship?
Now, it's going to be a good one. Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning.
Yeah.
Now, it's going to be a good outing, but what I'm always particular about is the fact that I know that most of our home base are not going to get a chance, because when we're talking about Afro basketball, we should be talking more about the home base. Most of the home base doesn't even have enough championship that they play. They don't play enough championship. Come to talk of going to represent the country, so there's no good experience in that of basketball for them. There's no high competitive championship like we were talking about the league the other time.
Yes.
Only spending like a week plus or 2 weeks to play a whole league. A league is why is it called a league? It should take you like lowest 3-4 months
to play. Most
time we play league like before now. We play leagues like for 6 months, 8 months, and these whole players get a lot of experience and exposure. And when the foreign guys that are coming for the national camp too, most time we've seen the home-based guys,
But why do you think
with the foreign guys?
Why do you think the home-based guys wouldn't get a lot of opportunity to go play in this championship? Do you think they are not well prepared? Do you think the foreign players are more healthier or are more skillful than the home-based players?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. My philosophy is this. You also say it. Preparation is key.
Yeah.
So if you want to achieve something, you have to push ahead. What you'll have put in place to be able to achieve that. So if you want more of the home-based guys, I'm not saying they should not bring foreign guys. That's not my take.
Okay.
I want more of the home-based guys. Because if we're not using more of the home-based guys, then what are we doing?
Okay.
My take is we're not doing much to grow the home-based players.
How do you think the Npfl would take this as the Nigerian Basketball Federation?
Yeah.
How well do you think they are going to take this preparation very serious? And looking at the lineups of what we have, we are seeing great talents in the current Abuja City League that's ongoing now. There are a lot of talents, not just by size, not just big guys. We are seeing also guards and small forwards emerging and doing great things within the league from what we are seeing now currently. How do you think the NBFF will be able to get younger players and then bring them to the Tigers team, and also get foreign players, and then mix up the team with experience and look guys that are playing here on how to win this tournament, because we hadn't won in the last couple of years?
Okay, for me, if that need to happen, we need to start preparation now.
Okay.
Since we have like 2 months or so.
Yeah, we have 2 months, because it's meant to start on the 12th to the 24th.
So we need to start preparation now. It's early to bed, early to rise. So you need to call a whole lot of players, like 50 to 60 players into camp in Nigeria here.
And then screen.
Yes, sir. Now, for me as a coach, I'm going to do a whole lot of screening. And I'm going to get like 10 good players, or let's say 7 good players, then mix up with some foreign players.
Yes.
But if you're not doing that, you're not ready. And if we have to do that, we should not look at maybe the political side, like this is my person, or this is my brother, or something. We should look out for people that can fit into these positions.
Okay, let's say You made mention of getting players and all of that. So if you're looking at it now, what names now are you expected if the Npfl, Nigerian Basketball Federation, are looking to invite people? What names do you think we should be looking at? Should we just go ahead with the current squad that we have, or there are more guys that you think that the Npfl need to introduce to the new pack?
Definitely, if you want to do that, you're going to bring some of the older guys, to come in. Then you're not going to introduce. That's where I always talk about having a steady championship league, a steady league, where you have the Division 1, Division 2, the National Basketball League,
yes.
Because people grow up from the Division 2 to Division 1, from Division 1 to the league and etc. Now, if you have this running, it will not be a problem, like as we are seeing it as a problem, to just push them, And the same thing with the officials, like Milo kicked off yesterday,
yes,
and let me tell you, the referees that are refereeing the league or what, they're not the one refereeing the Milo,
Yes.
Those are another new set of referees,
yeah.
That can easily handle the Milo championship. And when we talk about Division 2, it's another set of referees that should handle it. That's the growth I'm talking about, not only in players, in officials, in organization and everything. Like as I'm talking to you, by this weekend or so, the National Sports Festival is going to be holding in Ogun State too.
Yes.
So a whole lot of things, But what is the MBBF doing, to grow the basketball players?
We need to speak to Musa Kida to get that information. All right. Moving away from that, let's have a quick conversation around Abuja City League. So how has the past weekend been? I wasn't opportune to come around and see what happened.
Oh my God, you missed.
Yes,
you missed. You missed.
Yes.
For me, I always think it's one game at a time.
Yeah, obviously, one game at a time.
And this is basketball. It's not like football where you score a goal and you take your clothes off, go home, go and celebrate, and come back before we continue.
Yes.
In basketball, you score, we keep going. No time for celebration. You leave the celebration to the crowd. So thank God we've won. We picked up our 4th win, straight win, and it's all thanks to God, because I'm just a messenger. So we're doing well. We are doing well, and I could see some other good teams. Yeah, by this weekend we're hoping to play road safety. I may not be around. Because I will be representing another state in the sports festival.
Okay, let's look at this current standings of the league. Do you think after this now Division 1 would come back after the City League because of the high intensity and the kind of talent that we are seeing currently playing in the City League? Do you think Abuja City League, or rather Division 1, the local leagues that we have in Nigeria here in basketball, will come around, will revive back after these games?
Okay. If for 8 years we've not had Division 1, Division 2, like proper Division 1, Division 2 league, and even the league, the National Basketball League.
Yes.
Man, if you are bringing it now, when election is next year, I think for me it's highly political. Definitely you want people to see you doing something, while they should bring you back into the system. But this is so bad, because all the players that were playing the Division 1, Division 2, and the National Basketball League, that they actually, because outside the country, it's actually a job. That's actually a career.
Yes.
Now all these people, that's, if we want to mention like both the officials and etc, we can talk about like 20,000 players, if not more. Now we're talking about the 36 states plus the federal capital, that's 37. Now all those players plus the officials, coaches and everything, that means they're out of job. So what do you expect in the society? The criminality is going to increase.
Okay, let's just hope that, so even if it's going to be for political gains, at the end of the day,
let
it come back. So I think it's going to, continue like that. And when people keep talking and creating awareness about it, the divisions and the games, then we might see, it coming back full.
The funny thing, sir, is that they actually promised, like 7 years ago, they actually promised that, okay, they're going to host the Division 1, and they came up with a strategy to bring all the teams that were interested in the Division 1. And everybody came. We had about like 30-something teams traveling all over from everywhere funding for themselves. You know, when you travel, you have to spend.
And yes.
Now, did you know what? They promise every team subsidy. You know, a subsidy. Like maybe 200K for every team.
Yes.
For management.
Management, yes.
Now, should I shock you? None of those teams
Got the subsidy.
got even 20,000. You know, so it's so bad. They should keep their lips straight. You know, they should stop lying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move away from that, and definitely all of this, you know, statements have been actually alleged, but we'll still try to get to the NBB, Nigerian Basketball Federation, to get their own take, because a whole lot of sports analysts have actually been making comments around this issue, that teams will come and then subsidy which is being promised to them, they end up not getting it. So we'll definitely get more and get confirmation from this from the NBBF, that's the Nigerian Basketball Federation. So moving away from our own interest in local league, let's have a quick conversation around the NBBA, NBA rather. I beg your pardon. Pacers win to edge closer to the conference final. Indiana Pacers overcome their first quarter ejection of guard Benedict Mathias to defeat Cleveland Cavaliers 129-119 and go up 3-1 in their NBA Eastern Conference semifinal series. A win for the Pacers over the top seeds in Game 5 in Cleveland on Wednesday, which will be the second leg. That would be the decider. If Cleveland gets to win, then they still have a run for their money. But if not, they definitely don't have any other thing to, you know, run for. Looking at it, on Wednesday at 12 midnight, that is when this game will be played. So watching these angles now, we'll see the reach of a second straight conference final with Mathias left game with 4 minutes and 32 seconds in the opening period after a punch to the chest of DeAndre Hunter. At the stage, the Pacers led 22-10 and they were leading 38-23 at the end of the quarter before outscoring their rivals 42-16 in the second to hold a 80-39 advantage. The total was Pacers franchise playing off record for the points in the half. Pascal Siakam scored 21 points for the Pacers, while Myles Stoner and Obi Toppin each added 20 points as they bounced back from a heavy 126-104 loss in Game 3. So looking at this now, the Pacers are back and then they bounced back massively for Game 3. So looking at all of this now is just very interesting, and the competition is getting more tense. But we'll be going on a quick break, and when we come back, we will continue this conversation. Stay with us.